When you look at a map of Southern Africa, specifically South Africa, two places stand out. Two small countries where one is entirely encapsulated by the border of South Africa. These are the countries of Lesotho and Eswatini. But why are these countries not part of South Africa? Well, these borders are not made by accident. They are the result of a resistance that has lasted many decades. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, Britain seriously considered folding these countries into a larger South Africa. That was the plan for much of the region, where modern-day Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana and Namibia were all part of a plan for a greater South African state. But Lesotho and Eswatini pushed back. At the time, these regions were not simply empty land. They were organised kingdoms with leaders, political structures, and a very clear opinion about one thing. They did not want to be ruled by the settler governments in South Africa. Lesotho, then called Basutoland, was the clearest example, as in the 1870s, Britain tried attaching Lesotho into the Cape Colony. The result was war between the Basotho people, led by the House of Moshoeshoe, and the settler government. This conflict was so severe that Britain reversed course and placed Basutoland back into British protection instead. Eswatini, on the other hand, followed a different but similar path. Its status bounced around for decades, partly controlled by the Boer Republic in the Transvaal and partly controlled by Britain. Every attempt to absorb Eswatini into settler rule triggered protests and threats of rebellion. British officials feared another uprising similar to the Bambatha Rebellion in Zululand. To avoid that, Eswatini was kept separate. But by the time that South Africa was unified in 1910, only the settler colonies were included. Lesotho and Eswatini were classified as High Commission territories, deliberately excluded from South Africa. As Afrikaner nationalism and apartheid hardened after 1948, the idea of incorporation became politically impossible. Instead, Britain moved towards the independence of these territories. So these two countries exist today because their people consistently reject settler rule, resisted absorption, and they made it very clear that they'd rather fight instead of disappearing into South Africa. So these borders didn't survive by chance, but by refusal. Let me know what you think of today's video in the comments. Thank you for watching and follow to learn something new every day.